In the world of high-stakes escapes, sometimes the most unexpected methods pave the path to freedom. Imagine a man in a cell, using nothing but a sheet of paper and his ingenuity to outwit the prison's security. He presses a paper against the door lock to capture its shape with a pencil. Rolling another sheet into a makeshift key, he inserts it into the lock. The resulting creases indicate to him the length of the actual key. On his 23rd day of incarceration, he sets out to craft a key to freedom using the most rudimentary materials. During meals, his accomplice causes a distraction, allowing him to memorize the key's form. Back in his cell, the man relies on his sharp memory to sketch the key's silhouette, iterating until perfection. Seizing every opportunity, even under the guise of tying his shoelaces during soccer, he studies the key, committing its shape to memory. Each evening, he draws the day's observations, refining until there's no discrepancy with the previous day's sketches. Success is within reach. The key's creation begins with materials smuggled from woodworking sessions: wooden blocks, glue, and blades, ingeniously hidden within the base of a thermos. Despite the guard's routine checks that could unravel his plans at any moment, a strategically placed towel inside the thermos prevents any betraying sounds. Under the cloak of night, he carves and sands the wooden key to its near-final form. The slots are meticulously cut, and the handle shaped and glued into place. He bakes the glue dry on a lampshade, inching closer to completion. Finally, he sands the key to a smooth finish, fitting perfectly into the lock. With a subtle twist, the cell door unlatches, a testament to his resourcefulness. However, his triumph is short-lived as he faces a second, external door that only opens from the outside. Undeterred, he replicates his earlier process, crafting a second key under the cover of darkness. During a cleaning duty, a moment of carelessness by the guard allows him to test the key. It doesn't turn at first, but after some fine adjustments, the lock clicks open. Alas, in a frantic turn of events, the key snaps inside the lock just as the guards approach. In a desperate bid, he tries to extract the broken key, resorting to camouflage his efforts as mere cleaning when a guard draws near. Miraculously, his ruse works, and the guard moves on, oblivious to the compromised lock. With the keys mastered, the final hurdle remains: unlocking the external door from the inside. A brainstorming session among inmates dismisses the idea of using a kite string for its impractical visibility to the guards. Then, inspiration strikes: the universal prison broom, with its reach extending through the window to the lock. Combining it with a wheel found during woodworking, they devise a mechanism to turn the key from within, embodying the adage, "Necessity is the mother of invention." With determination etched on his face, the prisoner drills 2 holes into a wooden board and 1 into the broom handle, securing them together with a salvaged screw. A makeshift axis is born, one end affixed with the key. By night, he extends the broom through the window, uses a mirror for alignment, and after several attempts, the key slides into the lock. Grasping the handle, he twists it once, twice, and with a satisfying clack, the door swings open. A surge of adrenaline floods his veins. But just at that moment, a sniper in the opposite cell block seems to peer through the window. Ducking hastily, in a panic slip, the key falls outside. As the echo of the guard's footsteps loom ever closer, discovery would spell eternal captivity. In a stroke of genius, the taste of freedom hinges upon a stick of gum. Hastily chewed, then stuck on the end of the broomstick, the key is salvaged after several tense trials. Lying in his bed, his heart races. That was too close for comfort. The next day, he shares the triumphant news with his fellow inmates, their collective excitement palpable. With the second door vanquished, their major obstacle is overcome. It's now a matter of duplication, door after door, key after key, until day 296. The inmates decide on a full-scale escape rehearsal, not knowing which key goes to which door. The goal is to find out. After several attempts, they open the iron gate in the corridor, stealthily locking it again behind them as they descend. On the first floor, another iron door looms, guarding a guard room blaring music, the perfect cover. Keys jangle and tension mounts as sweat pours down his brow. The crucial moment, the music stops. It's time for the cell checks. They scramble to lock the door just as the shadow of a guard approaches, forcing them to retreat. It's too late to return to the cell, but the utility closet under the stairs provides a narrow refuge, thanks to a key made previously in an idle moment, now proving its worth. They cramp inside, the door hanging ajar by mere screws. Footsteps draw near. The tension is palpable. A slip of the hand, and the door creaks open. They're sitting ducks, praying to remain unseen. By sheer luck, the guard overlooks the sweat droplets left behind, ascending the stairs without suspicion. With the coast temporarily clear, they proceed to the 5th door. Luck favors them this time. One try and the door opens. They risk moving forward to the 6th door just as upstairs. Their dummies wrapped in blankets deceive the guards' inspections. At his cue, the inmates scramble back, relocking each door without a sound. Safely back in the closet, the guards' footsteps pass overhead. Disaster averted for now. The following day, the prison warden storms in, fueled by rage. His logic is clear. A sleeping inmate likely means nocturnal mischief. A thorough search of the cell ensues, and a fragment of a key is found. Quick thinking saves the day as the man has cleverly separated the key's head and handle, masking their true nature. He improvises, wedging a family photo between the pieces, fooling the warden into thinking it's a makeshift frame. The close call teaches him a grave lesson. The cell is no place for hiding keys. He adapts, stashing them in unseen nooks like beneath bookshelves or inside laundry detergent canisters, spots unbothered by the guards' prying eyes. Day by day, they continue to test keys on iron door after iron door until they reach the second to last, an electric door beyond their mechanical skills. To decipher its workings, the man strategically indulges in sweets until tooth decay grants him a dental appointment outside and an opportunity to survey the electric mechanism. Passing through, he notes the switch in the guard room. Their final escape would necessitate a wily diversion to the control room to unlock Liberty's door. As he approaches the prison's outer gate, he spots a new guard tower under construction. Once completed, their chances of escape would be forever dashed. Yet, with construction comes opportunity. The gates are inexplicably left open, offering a fleeting chance for freedom. Back inside, he shares the urgent news: it's now or never. A fellow inmate points out the glaring flaw in their plan. Their prison uniforms would lead to a swift recapture. For the final phase of their escape, they must acquire civilian clothing. By fortuitous timing, new inmates arrive and are ordered to exchange their clothes for prison garb. The discarded attire is usually thrown into a room, which one of the crew enters under the pretense of cleaning. He emerges bulging with layers of clothes, hidden beneath his prison uniform. With the clothing issue resolved, on the 404th day of imprisonment, they initiate their escape. The evening guards depart, leaving behind only a solitary warden and the sniper overlooking the prison. The mastermind sets up his cell decoy, adeptly unlocks the cell door, and releases his accomplices. Meanwhile, the duty warden downstairs suffers a sudden bout of stomach distress, clogging the toilet. In search of a plunger, he inadvertently dislodges a tiny piece of wire from the door, a fact he dismisses on his way to attend to the more pressing issue. Upstairs, dressed in stolen attire, the trio glides through the corridor, unlocking the iron door that leads downstairs. They quickly conceal themselves in the storeroom. The essential wire to secure the door is gone, leaving them to grip a tiny screw with their fingertips. As the warden unclogs the toilet, any attempt to exit could spell their undoing. Just then, a companion above realizes the predicament. No cell inspection, thus an impending disaster. He shatters a light bulb, causing a blackout, then loudly calls for the guards, diverting attention away from the storeroom. The guards forfeit checking the storeroom and ascend to investigate the noise. With this assist from their mate, the trio narrowly averts the most perilous part of their escape. Once the guard departs, the escape continues as practiced. Using their handmade wooden keys, they open door after door until reaching the control room and unlocking the electronic barrier. One final door remains between them and the streets of freedom, visible through the peephole. They try key after key to no avail. Despair mounts as the last key proves futile. Are all their efforts in vain? The protagonist suggests retreating, but his comrade refuses to give in, especially with freedom this close. Testing the doorframe, he finds it flimsy and begins to forcefully pry it open with their tools. The protagonist panics. The noise could alert the guards. Yet, the realization dawns that with a few more strikes, the door will give way. United in their purpose, they break it down and emerge victorious. Disguised with hats and shoes on, they exit the main building, using mirrors to avoid the sniper's gaze, and boldly stride through the prison gates. They can hardly believe their success, and it's not until they brush past the incoming shift of guards that the reality of their escape sinks in. They run tirelessly to a taxi stand. With $360 saved for 404 days inside a cigar tube hidden within his body, the protagonist tells the driver, "To the border, please." In the back of the taxi, the trio allows themselves tears and laughter, They're free at last. The next morning, as the guard's roll call echoes through the facility, the escape is discovered. 3 inmates vanished. This story is based on the true account of Tim Jenkin, a talented mechanical engineer imprisoned for his stance against discrimination. In South Africa during the 1970s, amidst the apartheid era, Tim joined the anti-discrimination movement. For merely distributing flyers advocating racial equality, he and his friend were captured and sentenced to several years in prison. Like many others there, they were innocents convicted without just cause. By harnessing his unique skills, Tim crafted 39 keys in 404 days, unlocking door after door, leading to a successful break from incarceration. As a free man in London, he continued the fight for equality. An engineer and warrior at heart, he didn't just crack the code of prison locks, but also strove to dismantle the shackles of discrimination and oppression the world over. And that's the end of the line for this remarkable tale of resistance and liberation. Drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to catch more stories of indomitable spirit and daring escapes. Stay tuned.